A classified claim buried for years, a disgraced financier at the center, and an explosive allegation now emerging from newly released government files. An undercover FBI informant has told investigators they became convinced Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli intelligence asset. According to a government document released last week by the U.S. Justice Department, an undercover FBI informant alleged that Jeffrey Epstein was a co-opted Israeli spy. The informant, identified only as a confidential human source, said their suspicions grew through direct exposure to Epstein's inner circle and communications involving his legal team. The document claims Epstein's attorney, Alan Dershowitz, allegedly told then U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta that Epstein belonged to both U.S. and Allied intelligence services. The informant said they monitored phone calls between Epstein and Dershowitz, taking notes as part of their role, and alleged that Israeli intelligence officers later contacted Dershowitz to debrief him. According to the document, Epstein was close to former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak and was allegedly trained as a spy under his supervision. The informant also claimed Barak believed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was a criminal, placing Epstein within a wider web of regional and political rivalries. The document further alleges that Dershowitz once said he would be holding a stun gun as a Mossad agent if he were younger, a remark the informant interpreted as ideological alignment. The claims are unverified and include an annotation directing readers to previous reporting, though no specific source is identified in the release. The allegations surface amid a massive disclosure of Epstein-related files, many of which reference powerful political, legal, and financial figures. Epstein was found dead in his New York jail cell in 2019 while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges, a death officially ruled a suicide. He had previously received a controversial plea deal in 2008, approved by Alex Acosta, allowing him to avoid federal prosecution despite multiple victim allegations. Epstein's victims have long claimed he operated a trafficking network protected by influence, money, and silence. This latest document adds a new and deeply controversial layer to a case that continues to raise questions years after Epstein's death. As Epstein fallout intensifies, tech billionaire Bill Gates regrets every minute spent with him. His ex-wife, Melinda Gates, also breaks her silence after Bill's name surfaced in the Epstein files.
Yeah, I met Jeffrey in 2011. The focus was always, he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him. No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that. It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Well, let me say this. I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right? So for me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
Well,
And I am so happy to be away from all the muck.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That is often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out Tera,
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged
to stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.